Hi, I'm Moritz with Human Touch, and I want to give you some practical tips on how to demonstrate the Novo XT2 massage chair by Human Touch. You've got a slot right here with the remote control pouch. You also have another slot on the other side that you can sometimes use if a customer has a cell phone or a bulky watch that you don't want them wearing. So first of all, I'm going to be demonstrating this chair without a model in the chair because I want to show some of the features that I can point to and that would be hidden otherwise. First of all, when a customer walks in and you're putting them in the chair, you have them sit down. The first thing you want to tell them is make sure to put their heels back and down in the chair because there is a foot sensor underneath there and that helps. Once they're in the chair, I always like to make sure I try to never let anybody use this hidden pillow because one of the big features of this chair is the neck and shoulder area. It gives such a great massage. You miss out on that. Many will even flip this back and use that and just go straight on the rollers to get the best neck massage possible. So keep those in mind when you sit somebody in it. If they're using this pillow, they're not going to feel the neck massage at all. This is good for people who might have, bulging discs or things like that, and it adds protection. So once they're in the chair, you've got them positioned, you got their head pillow set up. The first thing you want to do is just hit the power button on the remote. It's already highlighted for the auto options for the massages. You've got 35 automatic programs that you can choose from. You've got 7 main categories, which are awake, energize, performance recovery, upper back, lower back, and demo. I always just recommend hit the auto. It's going to bring up your programs, scroll down to energize, then go over and go down to Swedish. Once the chair starts to recline, it's going to bring up your height chart. Select their height. For me, at 5'10", I use a 7. At any time, if you need to readjust that height to get the neck to go up further or it's not going up high enough, you can just hit this position bar in the middle and you toggle up or toggle down and you can pick a new height. The reason why we pick Energize Swedish is Energize is one of the programs that focuses on stretching, and stretching is one of the awesome features of this chair. A lot of customers love the stretching because they get a lot of nice relief and just you're like, oh, what an amazing. So with that, once the customer's in the chair, I always take a look where their knees are. If their knees, even if they're perfect, I like to show the customer, sir, ma'am, whatever the case may be, I can give you a little bit more leg room and I'm going to extend the chair out, or I can give a little less leg room and I can retract it back in. By doing this, it shows them that it can be done. If you don't adjust it at all, they may be thinking, wow, my knees are in my chest or I'm not barely touching it. So you want to be able to accommodate that back and forth to give them the best positioning for their feet. Once they're in that for a little while, I always like to ask the customer, do you prefer a mild, a medium, or more aggressive type massage? This chair, the XT2, will always default to an intensity level of 1 on a scale of 1 to 5. So if they like more of a medium massage, you might want to boost up to 3. Aggressive, maybe go to 5. So once they're going, you could occasionally get customers who may have foot pain or they can't handle the foot massage. A couple things you can do. One, you can always extend the foot out slightly because that will lift their foot off the rollers a little bit and help give them a little more relief. If that's good but not quite enough, hit the menu button, go to settings, go to foot speed, and then go to fast because the fast will actually end up being a little less intense than the slow. If that's still not enough, just do the same thing. Go to menu, go to settings, go to foot speed, and turn it off. By turning it off, they will then feel nothing underneath the foot, but then if they were in pain, you just solved their problem, and that's a good thing. Lastly, possibly some of your customers might have edema, swelling, circulation issues, neuropathy. If that's the case, and they can't handle the squeezing on the foot and calf, go into menu, go to Cloud Touch. Full is going to be highlighted. You can go in and select arm and shoulder, go back in, select back and waist, go in again, skip over leg and foot, and select buttocks. That way you're squeezing everywhere up here and nothing is being squeezed in the foot and calf. So you'll be giving them the relief that they need and they won't be sitting there in pain. Next, I just want to go through some of the settings to tell you some of the options you have with this chair. So when you hit menu, again, that starts everything for you from menu. Go to settings. The first thing is intensity. As I already mentioned, you can adjust intensity anywhere from 1 That's the least aggressive, up to 5, the most aggressive. You go to foot speed. We talked about that a little bit. You can go slow, medium, fast, or off. Next is stretch. You can do 2 options in stretch. I highly recommend doing the down option as opposed to out. Both are good options. The down's a little bit more impressive. With the out option, if my fingers are your legs and my knuckles are your knees, the out will grab right below the knees and pull out slightly like this. The down will do the same thing. Grab below the knees, bend and pull, bend and pull. So it gives a little bit of a wow factor, and they're like getting that relief, so they love it. Not that the out's bad, they're both good, just a little bit more pizzazz with the down. Next, you've got the language feature. You've got Mandarin, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese. You can go in to any one of those languages, pick that language, and it changes everything on the remote into that language. That's pretty easy. You want to know how to get out. So how to get back in case you ever come to the remote and somebody has left it on the foreign languages. Hit menu first, which we know where menu is. Go to settings, which is always the center icon, and just scroll down about 4 clicks till you see the EN appear. Then you know that's English, and you just go in, select it, and you're back to English. Next, you've got Bluetooth, which you always want to have on, because that way you can play the sound soothe buttons. You can listen to music on your speakers if you're hooked into Pandora, Spotify, what have you. Lastly, you've got the beep. In the stores, I recommend having the beep on because it lets you know what you're engaging when you click. Also, if you're the only one in the store and you've got a customer in the chair and you're helping somebody else in the back corner and all of a sudden you start hearing clicks, you know your customer is probably trying to adjust something and needs to get out. Also, another thing I want to mention is the sound soothe button. Usually I will put somebody in that right after I've gotten them situated in the chair and they're starting the massage. What the sound soothe button is a button that's on the remote control in the bottom left corner, and it gives you a drop-down menu of about 8 sounds. Things like wind chime, nature, twilight, brook, summer rain, thunderstorm, etc. So you've got a lot of different options you can pick. It's a nice background music. That volume will always default to 3. Some of those will be probably just perfect. Some you might want to default and hit the volume and go back to 2 or 1. That's important because you don't want to blast anybody out in there. So you want to check those volume features. Next, and probably lastly, but a little bit more involved, is that the people who have mastered the manual option that this chair does have really been able to give customers a lot of benefit. Because in the manual mode, I can have it massage the whole body. I can pick one of 3 zones, a short, medium, or long zone, which ends up being 3, 6, or 9 inches. Or I can pick spot. Spot function allows me with the click of the button to move the roller anywhere up and down the spot. If I want to just work the neck, I can, or just work the thoracic area, or just work the lumbar area. I can do that. You've got those options that people who just have a nagging neck ache or lumbar muscle get a lot of relief at that point. So what you would do is you would hit the menu button and you click over to manual and hit OK. The second you've hit the manual button, the top line is mode. You got to go in and pick from kneading, tap touch, percussion, shiatsu, kneading and percussion, or tap touch, or audio sync. You pick the technique that you want, select that, then you've got to go back into to manual one more time, and you go down to focus, which is the second line. And on focus, you can pick your full body, zone, or spot. If you want to do spot, the second you hit spot, you need to wait about 5 seconds or until the little person comes back on your remote control. In essence, the chair is kind of recalibrating. Once that person has come back on the remote, you'll see one of those vertebrae is highlighted in blue. Then you can use the middle position bar with the arrows to move the roller up or down to whatever area you want to massage. Once you've done that, in a few minutes, if they want to switch out mode, all you got to do is hit menu, go into manual, come down to focus, and go in, or actually go to mode and pick a different one, tap touch, shiatsu, whatever you want to pick. So pick one of those, then you can massage it anywhere you want. That's the biggest mistake that some people make, is that they forget to wait the 5 seconds after they've gone to spot and they start moving the arrows and the roller's not moving. So they're wondering, wow, what happened? Why is it not moving? So, and it's you got to wait till that little person comes on, then it's activated. Couple other things, you have 3 deep tissue programs. The deep tissue programs are deep breath, deep soothe, and deep stretch. Deep stretch is the first one listed, and it's a 10-minute program. Deep breath and deep soothe are each 5 minutes. You've got one other setting that is not in under settings, and that's heat. You may get asked the question, was it throughout the body? And the answer is no, it's actually just lumbar heat. Some people may tend to run hot, but there are some people who feel that their back is more easily massaged if their muscles are warmed, and there's a lot of truth to that. So keep all these features in mind, point out some of the benefits and features, and bring things up that the customers might not be saying out loud, but that you want to eliminate objections or possibilities. Thanks, and have a great day.